What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of this Crystal Palace FIFA 16 career mode. Before we jump into the episode, I just want to say I hope you've all had a great Christmas, enjoyed the festivities, spending time with your family and got all the gifts that you deserve. But time now to jump in. Javier Hernandez, £90,000 a week is what he wants. That's what we'll give him, as well as crucial first team player status. Confirmation that Jonathan Williams has left the club. He's gone on to join Watford, and we are now about to jump into this semi-final of the European International Cup. Obviously, the aim, the further you get, the more prize money you get. It's as simple as that. I'm not taking it overly seriously, but you know, it's not a competition I want to go out of. I want as much money in the bank as possible to improve the squad. We decided to try a 4-3-3 formation. Not one that we've played many times before. I don't know how successful it will be, but the early signs were not good. Besiktas finding a way through the defence a little bit too easily on that occasion inside the opening 10 minutes, but we eventually kind of worked out what was going on. We had some good attacks of our own. You can see Berahino there nearly applying the finishing touches to a decent team move, but still Besiktas getting behind our defence far too easily for our liking. Jack Butland pulling off a superb reaction save there. That really was a fantastic save. But going forward, we look dangerous. Good ball through from Fellaini, and Coquelin, who doesn't score many, finishes that like an absolute boss. Maybe we should try Coquelin up front. Who knows? Because none of our strikers back end of last season were smashing goals in, so we do need some new blood up there. We need some fresh competition. You can still see Besiktas getting past the defence. Butland done well there to close down the angle, put the attacker off, who eventually shot wide. But 45 minutes in, so far so good. We've got the lead. Not a vintage performance, but it doesn't really matter too much. Vardy, Sinkgraven and Saha coming on now. Saha I'm not happy with. He spent all of last season moaning, asking for a pay rise. Somehow we managed to keep the ball out, acrobatic clearance in the end from Coquelin. But as I say, Zaha, we've got Vidio, who is arguably better than him. I know, I love Zaha. I think he's a very talented player. Obviously, the fans' favourite, I think, at Palace. So, you know, I don't want to slate him too much, but his attitude was poor. And we're obviously trying to bring in Mahrez. If Mahrez comes in, then we will look to sell Zaha, actually. He's just creating a bad vibe within the squad. There's not too many players that are unhappy in terms of their morale, but he is one of them consistently. He wants 60k a week. I'm just not going to pay that much for him. His performances haven't warranted that. Had he have been, you know, decent all of last year, then he would get it. But we eventually win this game 2-0. Vintage Vardy again getting away from the defence. You can see we're going to play Ajax in the final, which will be a tough game. The Dutch side are decent. And there is the news that Riyad Mahrez has accepted our contract offer and will be the latest addition to this side, which does mean, of course, Nathan Redmond, who we were also negotiating with, we're going to have to reject that offer. Mahrez was our preference on that right side of midfield, and we have got our man. But now, time for the final. Of course, a win here would mean more prize money, so you can see the side we've put out. It's a strong one, 4-1-4-1 formation. This is probably the team that we will head in. There's one change, basically. Vestergaard in instead of Eric Dyer. Basically, instead of Mark Bartra, sorry. That is basically the team I think we will play against Manchester City in the Community Shield. I want to get a good sort of test in that game to see where we are in relation to the other Premier League clubs. That will, of course, be coming up in the first game of the next episode, as well as the season opener. But you can see here, getting off to a decent start. Vidio so unlucky there with his left-footed strike coming back off the woodwork. But Jamie Vardy does what all good strikers do. Keeps himself active in the box, reacts, and applies the finish very nicely, actually. Could easily have lashed that over the crossbar, but Vardy in superb form this pre-season, which doesn't bode well for Berahino, who is already not happy about the lack of first team opportunity at the club. I don't want to keep players here that do not want to be here. It's a squad game. We're going to do a lot of rotating. We're, you know, going for strength and depth this year, bringing in some more players. So there's going to be a lot of unhappy people. I just don't want them hanging around. But referee has a bit of a clanger here. Eric Dyer makes a good tackle to block across, but sees a straight red card brandished by the referee. So we're going to play over half of this game a man light. And as you can see, as we've gone down to 10, Ajax making their numerical advantage count, very nearly getting themselves back on level terms on 2 occasions before the end of the half, but they were unable to do that. So 45 minutes away from picking up another trophy. Obviously not a major trophy, but a trophy nonetheless. Mark Bartra and new man Riyad Mahrez coming on here as we look to just shore things up defensively. Hopefully Mahrez can have an impact. We've, of course, reunited the Mahrez-Vardy partnership, which is working so well for Leicester in the Premier League at the moment. Hopefully it can work well for us. You can see Mahrez involved here, picking out Balassi, who hits the woodwork. Mahrez keeps it alive, back heel to Coquelin, but his effort goes wide. So once again, unlucky not to find the back of the net, denied by the woodwork. Milik at the other end having a decent chance for Ajax. Of course, we've still got 10 men, so I'm still happy with the way we've defended the majority of this game. And then Butland pulling off a good save just a couple of minutes from time. And as you can see, the full-time whistle goes. Jamie Vardy with the decisive goal again. And we have managed to earn ourselves some prize money and another trophy for what is fast becoming a packed trophy cabinet, I must say. Familiar scenes of celebration here. There's the boys, champions of the European International Cup. Don't read too much into that. I am more worried about the Community Shield. It's a difficult trophy to win because, of course, to even qualify for it, you have to win the Premier League or the FA Cup, two of the hardest club competitions in the world. But you can see news that Javier Hernandez has rejected our contract offer. He doesn't want to come. We offered him exactly what he wanted, and he still said he didn't want to relocate. He doesn't feel the move suits him, so that's fine. If he doesn't want to be here, we're not going to force him to the club by just chucking money at him. We will turn our attentions elsewhere. But here's what I was saying. It's Berahino again saying he's not happy with his role at the club and he will move in order to find first team football. But Andre Schürrle was a guy suggested in the comments, and he's a player that I'd like to bring in as well. Can play wide in midfield. Chelsea also used him as a striker during his short time at Stamford Bridge, so that's another option. And I know we're bare up front. It's just Vardy and Berahino that we got in the squad, so we do need to bring in at least some cover. And this guy, you know his name, from Juventus, Kingsley Coman, I think it's pronounced, is loan listed, only 10k a week as well. So we're going to look to bring him in just as cover for the time being until we manage to secure a permanent signing. But that will be the end of this episode, guys. Keep your transfer suggestions coming in the comments. I really hope you're enjoying this series and glad that we've carried on as Crystal Palace. If not, then of course there will be opportunities in the future to have another vote to see which career mode team you'd like to use. But for now, we will continue as the Super Eagles. So drop a like, subscribe to the video if you're new to the channel, and we will see you again next time.